What's up? I got really really big concerns about the Lions right now, man. This team right here. The concerns I have with this team is I'm about to ask some questions like, okay, one, since Calvin is retiring, I guess the question is now, how will our offense look like in 2016, 2017 season? How would our offense look like? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm really concerned about the offense of the Lions, man. Especially when Calvin leaving as the receiver, he retiring. So I don't know how the offense will look. I'm assuming we will have a mediocre offense. Not a well, I don't know, man. Cause I mean, shoot, it's tough. It's tough. Like the thing about how will Bob Quinn build this offense? We have no weapons on the offensive side of the ball whatsoever. I mean, Calvin, he was a weapon. Only thing we got is Golden Tate. Okay, but Golden Tate is not a deep threat. He's a receiver that catch the ball from short to immediate routes, run short to immediate routes, or out of the slot. That's what he does best when he runs short routes or immediate like medium routes. So, and then T.J. Jones, he the same way, but T.J. Jones not that sharp at his route running yet. And sometimes he have problems beating press, bringing the press coverage sometimes. Sometimes he does. So how what weapons do we really have? Eric Ebron, I mean he need to step the fuck up or leave. That's how I feel. If he don't improve in year 3, he got to fucking go. I'm serious than the motherfucker. If he don't if he don't step up this year, get cut his ass. I'm through. I'm through. I'm not playing. If he don't step the fuck up this year, cut that motherfucker Bob Quinn. I don't give a fuck anymore. Cut him. Cause you got this motherfucker dropping open passes and shit. Passes that I can fucking catch. That's how fucking bad his hands is. He can't catch passes I can fucking catch. Dude will be fucking that dude will be open 30 yards down the field and still drop that motherfucker. I remember one time Stafford threw him the fucking ball in the red zone. No, not the red zone, but well, it was the red zone. Stafford, he was like on the 30-yard line. He threw the ball straight down the field. It was like nothing but space. Ebron was down the field, but I think it was against the Raiders. He was by himself. Literally, he was by himself. Okay? Nobody was in a facility of this motherfucker. Not even 15 yards of this motherfucker. 15, 20 yards of this motherfucker. Eric Ebron was by himself, open as fuck. And he, in the red zone, he dropped that motherfucker. Wide the fuck open. He was wide open as fuck. Like, he was so open, it was ridiculous. It was like the defender is here and he's way over here somewhere. Out of the team and shit. Like, and he dropped the fucking ball. That pissed me off. Him with them damn drops getting on my goddamn nerves. Another thing to get on my fucking nerves is the running game. That got something to do with the offensive line too. But how would this offense look next year? Because this offense is mediocre. With Calvin Johnson, it's mediocre. It's a mediocre offense. Actually, the offense is worse than the defense is. I know statistically last year the offense was a little ranked. It was a higher rank than the defense was, but not by much. Actually, no, I take that back. The defense was a little higher. But with Calvin Johnson, the offense was mediocre as fuck. How the fuck? I don't know how the fuck our offense is going to improve without Calvin Johnson. It's probably going to be worse than mediocre. It's going to be straight fucking garbage. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't got no weapons. Golden Tate. That's it. That's it. T.J. Jones, I don't know about him yet. He's a project. He's a He's a project right now. Ebron, he's still a kind of a project, but damn it, his hands is fucking horrible. I don't know if they were gonna bring Van Les Moore. I doubt it. I doubt it. What else weapons do we fucking got? Corey Fuller fucking garbage. He can't run routes for shit, and he dropped the easy passes too. So he he ain't no weapon. He ain't a reliable weapon. A reliable weapon. I mean, you got receivers dropping passes and shit. I mean, all you guys Theo Riddick and Golden Tate on the offense. People gonna say Amir Abdullah, but he not a big threat in the passing game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the running game, but that's not really. Yeah, he pissed me off a little bit. Amir Abdullah, he good as he is at times, he showed he's really good. But when he's off, man, he'll have like 4 or 5 good runs for like 8 yards apiece, and then the next thing you know, he fumbles the son of a bitch. I can't trust Amir Abdullah right now. You know what I'm saying? How the fuck would the offense look like next year? I can't trust Amir Abdullah right now, seriously. Especially going into the second year. This motherfucker, how many fumbles he had? 5, I believe, or 6? It was something like that. That dude had a lot of fucking fumbles. A lot of the times, the fumbles that he did get, they just stripped the shit out of his fucking hand. A lot of times, he didn't even get popped. He didn't even get popped. I could see you fumble the ball and you got fucking creamed and shit, got fucking cracked and shit, popped like a motherfucker. Then I can understand you fumbling the fucking ball. But this dude, he don't even get popped up. He don't even get hit. Most of his fumbles most of the time, he don't even get hit. Most of the time. Most of the time, they'll strip the ball out of his hand or punch it out of his hand or some shit. That's where most of his fumbles come from. It's not from him getting fucking creamed and shit on some other shit. No. Nah, if that was the case, I could understand. You fumble the ball once or twice or whatever. Because shit, a lot of people fumble if you get hit hard as fuck. But for him to fumble the ball and he just running the ball and they just doop, knocked it out of his hand like it was nobody's business. We got no running game. Our passing game is inconsistent because our receivers can't catch the fucking ball for shit. And they Stafford, he had a good turnaround, but when you got no reliable receivers that can catch the fucking ball, and then you got probably the worst offensive line in the entire NFL. Like seriously, one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. Seriously, Riley Reef was so fucking horrible. Riley Reef, Cornelius Lucas, so fucking trash. Remember the first game against the Chargers? Man, Lucas was so fucking garbage. That Stafford was getting fucked up in that game. That dude got his ribs got fucked up and shit. Dude was getting fucked up. Fucked up. Stafford was getting toasted, nigga. Toasted. Stafford was getting toasted all day from the right and left side. Swanson was horrible. He didn't pan out to be the center of the future because they put Manny Ramirez at his position because Swanson was terrible. It's just all bad, man. The running game we had the worst running game in the NFL. How in the fuck would his offense cultivate with the loss of Calvin Johnson? That is the question to me. If this offense was mediocre at best with Calvin Johnson, just imagine how it's going to be without him. That's a sickening thought. I had that thought in the back of my head. I still can't get that thought out of my head. That's a scary thought, man. Oh man, now the defensive side of the ball, there's some hope for the defensive side of the ball, but the offense, it's over. It's over until they do something dramatically different. The offense is gonna be a mediocre to below average offense. But if it is gonna be a shitty offense, You might as well build a defense up to be a fucking elite defense and shit. You might as well build this defense to be lethal on some Carolina Panther, Denver Bronco, Seattle Seahawk type shit. Have a defense like that. Or the Lions from 2 years ago type shit. We need a defense. We need a great fucking defense. Since our offense is gonna be so fucking shitty. But I know in the draft, I don't know this. I know Bob Quinn. No, I know nobody in the Lions organization watch my videos, but can you? I could just see this. The options I could see Bob Quinn doing. Seriously, I can see him doing this. I could see him either A, drafting a receiver in the first round, B, trading up to get 2 first-round picks and trading away one of our players or whatever to get 2 first-round picks. I can see him doing some shit like that. Seriously, we got 10 fucking picks. I mean, why not? Shit, get 2 first-round picks. Get a defensive player and an offensive player. Fuck it. Now, I'm an advocate of trading the fuck up. Getting 2 first-round picks this year. Fuck it. If it sacrifices next year first-round pick, I don't give a shit. We need some impact. But then again, I kind of don't want to do that because I want to build for the future. I don't know what direction. I don't know what direction the Lions going to go in the draft. I don't know if they're going to stay put at 16. I don't know if they're going to trade back, even though it's not really necessary because we getting a lot of picks any goddamn way. It's not even necessary to trade back. The only reason if you should trade back, only thing you should do if you trade in the draft, you should trade away one of our players already. Like trade Eric Ebron or some shit. Trade Ebron and fucking Riley Reef or some shit. Trade a couple motherfuckers for future draft picks or some shit. I could see Bob Quinn doing some shit like that, like for real. Trade away a couple of our players, like trading trading one of our players that got high value on our team. Like I could see Bob Quinn trading like Theo Riddick or fucking Darius Slay or some shit. I could see him doing Glover Quinn, somebody like that. I could see him trading away for some high draft picks of this year and next year. I could see him doing some shit like that for real. That's not impossible. That is very possible. That is very, very possible. I could see him doing some shit like that. So if you see him do some shit like that, just let people know I called it out first. I could see him trading away one of our impact players to get some future draft picks, some future first round draft picks and shit like that, high draft picks. Trading away Theo Riddick or fucking DeAndre Levy or Glover Quinn or somebody like that. Or on the offensive side, trading away Golden Tate. I can see the Lions doing some shit like that. I really can. I can see them doing that shit. Just to get some more draft picks or getting higher draft picks. So that's not out of the realm at all. But I don't know what the Lions gonna do. I don't know what direction they're gonna go in the draft. Now the free agency. People talking about getting Kamar Aiken out of the Baltimore Ravens. There's no receivers out of this free agency that I really like, besides Travis Benjamin from the Cleveland Browns, because he could take the top off of defenses with his speed. Yeah, Aiken, I don't know. He played good because if he was the best receiver on the Ravens, that's not saying too much because the Ravens was straight fucking garbage this year because they had no offense. They was inconsistent on offense because the lack of quarterback and the lack of Joe Flacco. So, but I don't know what the fuck direction the Lions gonna go in going into the next season, man. I don't know. It could hurt us or it could help us. It could benefit us. I don't know what Bob Quinn is gonna do. It's an interesting question though. It's very interesting. But the loss of Calvin Johnson, it is kind of scary. And then you got Barry Sanders coming out of nothing, coming out saying this is devastating that Calvin Johnson is retiring early and all this shit. Talking about that's a blow and all this shit and that sucks and that it's devastating. He's shocked and all like, what? You the one retired? You started this shit. You the one started the trend. You the one retired early, motherfucker. I know you not talking. You should shut the fuck up. Shit. You was still in your prime when you retired. The fuck? You be the all-time leading rusher right now if you haven't retired early. Seriously. You be the all-time leading rusher. But you retired early. But because Emmitt Smith sure as fuck wouldn't have got that record if Barry kept on playing. He would have never got that fucking record. Keep it real, people. Because Barry was a fucking beast. But he retired early. Now Calvin Johnson. I heard a couple fans like, man, hell no, I'm done with the Lions, man. Fuck this. But yeah, man. A question about Calvin Johnson. He might be my favorite Lion on the team right now. Well, not anymore. Since he retired. He ain't my favorite current Lion player. But my favorite current Lion player is Stafford now, so it's Stafford. So Stafford and Ziggy Ansah. But the question with Calvin is, I always had this question in the back of my head, and I always thought about this for years. Does he really have that competitive nature? I never see a really high competitive nature out of Calvin. Never. I know the team always lose or whatever the fuck, but Steve Smith was a fucking loser too. But difference between him and Steve Smith, two different receivers. Steve Smith, he always wanted to win. He always had that fire in his belly. He always was highly competitive. Always wanted to fucking win and had the fucking high motor and shit. Calvin, he's more reserved and laid back. It seemed like he don't have that competitive fire that Steve Smith has, or Dez Bryant, or Larry Fitzgerald, or somebody of that nature has. That really high motor to fucking win. I always had that question about Calvin Johnson. I'm not questioning his talent because that dude's a dynamite receiver. 6'5", he probably taller than that, honestly. I think he's taller than 6'5", but he's 6'5", they say. He about 6'5", 237 pounds, 236. I don't know, 235, whatever the fuck it is. He ran a 4.340. Dynamic receiver. But he's not on the team anymore. But one thing that will always hold Calvin back forever is that competitive spirit. I never felt that he had that competitive spirit to fucking win. Yeah, he played good games and shit, but he never just fucking like, yeah, get routed up and wanted to win and all this. Like, I never seen that out of him. And in the drafting, this is why sometimes teams draft a player just off of their mental, not just off their physical abilities, but their mental abilities. Is they mentally strong enough to compete week in and week out? Is they strong enough? That's why they always asking them questions and shit like that before the draft and shit. They always take them to a room and ask them questions about the game. Because do they have that mental part? You might have it here. You might have it right here, but you don't. But do you have it here? You know what I'm saying? That's why I always had a question with Calvin. But man, I don't know what the hell the Lions is going to do. This is just the possibilities of what can happen. I predict this offense is going to be it's going to be, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be really shitty, but I'm not saying it's gonna be really great because I don't think the Lions should reach for a receiver in the first round. Maybe second round. Not first round though. But the draft, if you and then when Calvin retiring, this make you think about the Odell Beckham Jr. or the Aaron Donald draft pick even more. This make you think about that shit even more. Especially the Odell Beckham pick. You be like, damn, why the fuck we didn't get Odell Beckham Jr.? That make you think about that shit even more. Just imagine him. I know they got Golden Tate and shit, but just imagine him and Golden Tate and Calvin Johnson. That shit would be illegal. Literally. That will be illegal. Okay? And then if Calvin retired, you still got Odell Beckham Jr. because he's a dynamic receiver, even though I got questions about his manhood. But who gives a fuck if he's a good player? So, yeah, man. That's all I have to say in this video, man, about the possibilities of what could happen. And I'm not going to make a season predictions just yet because it's way too early for that shit. I got to wait for draft and free agency, then make that video or whatever. But that's going to be a while from now. So, yeah, man, I'm going to come up here soon again and talk about something. Peace.